Hello, Minecrafters and Redstoners. I'm Natanis Likens. How are you guys doing today? And today we are in we're at a void. There's nothing here. Okay, so why are we here? What is going on? And why another really short video? So quick, considering you just released one the other day. So let's talk about that. I released a video the other day talking about the new crafter and the potential issues and actual use of it in response to a video that Xisuma made. And then, in the middle of me rendering the video, Xisuma put out another video, and it involved this snapshot. This is what we're in. Guess what's available here? Yeah, it's the crafter. We have the crafter. We can play around with it and show the potential use of this thing, which is just as I feared. It's kind of pathetic, really. Yeah. If they really want to add some, you know, industrial feel to Minecraft, they need to come up with something better than this. This crafter is kind of pathetic, and we are going to go over why. Um, so I've rebuilt a little portion of my system that you saw in the previous world, and we are going to demonstrate why this thing is not as good as you would actually think it is. It is good. Don't get me wrong. The ability to auto craft pretty much anything in the game is amazing. Though the setup for certain items is going to be a little bit ridiculous, and you're not going to be able to make an entire system that can make every block in Minecraft without coming across some issues like timings and everything. And Xisuma kind of experienced that, and I already was thinking it when he released his snapshot video. We'll get to that in a minute because I have come up with a semi solution. It's not perfect, but it will work. We'll get to that in a minute. So, first off, we got this set up to create stairs, and if you can't tell from my inventory, we're going to be creating uh, diorite stairs automatically. So, we got this completely filled up with diorite. We got our system recreated here. So we got this little timer circuit here that is going to keep the loop going until it runs out. And as it creates one, or as it pushes one stair over, one piece of diorite over into the crafter, is going to send a signal back here that is going to move the slime balls one at a time back across. And what that does is it guarantees that we put exactly 6 in here. Now, that was originally the thought with a multi-tiered setup. With an individual tier, like we have going on here, where we're only making one specific item, in this particular case, we're only making diorite stairs, we don't have to do exactly 6. We can actually, like, remove this, and we can put in a full stack of 64. So every time this goes back and forth, it's going to put more diorite over there, and that's actually not. Let's see here. So 4, we can do this. Okay, so there's going to be 4 left over, so we can go here and do exactly this, and that will use up exactly the amount we need in order to craft stairs in a even manner. It's not going to be a perfect full set of 64 stacks, but it is going to, you know what, let's just hit the button and demonstrate this. And we're also going to demonstrate part of the issue I have with using the crafter for this intended purpose. So as you can see, we are starting to fill up with diorite over here, and it is slow. And as soon as we get a full amount of diorite in here and the entire system is full, we need that right there before something goes wrong. Yep, there we go. So basically what's going to happen is once that's filled up, and it does count these slots here, so it is going to be a 9 signal regardless of what you're trying to make. It's always going to be 9 signal strength. So once it hits that full 9 signal strength, it's going to go up into this line, into this piston, which is going to push it, and it is going to cause it to create stairs because of the configuration that we have in it. Wait for a second. Wait, 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 wait. Okay, there you go. Stair. Okay, so there you go. We've got 24 stairs at the moment. That is what we've got going on. And the reason we're doing this in somewhat of a slow manner is we do need it to count in a specific way. I did see that there was a setup that is probably a lot faster than what I've got going on here. But remember, we're trying to count it because we're trying to make an entire system that delivers from multiple sources. So we can't really keep this running a whole the entire time. It'd be for making multiple items. So we actually need the items to be spit out in a particular number. However, that's not the real issue here. Even as fast as this thing can go, it's not going to be exactly that fast compared to just doing this. And you see that took like a few seconds and we made 4 stacks. Whereas this isn't even at a full stack yet. Even if you got a faster system than what I have built here, I guarantee you it's not going to be as fast as you just taking 6 stacks of whatever material and making stairs. I guarantee you it's not going to be nearly as fast as just you doing it yourself. So this system, this idea of using the crafter for any type of crafting, I can't get behind it. They really need to come up with a different way of doing this. It's a great idea, it's a great block, and it's about time we got automatic crafting in vanilla. It's just not going to be worth it in the long run. And in fact, the only time I can think of this actually being practical and usable is with what we've got going on over here. So this is exactly the same kind of setup, only you will notice that we have 2 sets of crafters, and I actually need a barrel on the front of this. And you might be wondering, why do we have 2 crafters here? What's going on? Well, this is to solve the age-old problem of making dispensers. That's right, making dispensers. So the biggest problem is the bows. Because bows do not stack, you can only make dispensers one at a time, and because they also do not stack, you cannot carry as many bows as we would all like to. So yeah, this system is probably going to work phenomenal for this issue, for this problem. Now you can see that I've already got 64 slime balls in there, so when this system does get going, it should, in theory, make exactly 64 dispensers. Now, I did go ahead on this portion here. I set up to where we've got both sticks and string feeding into this crafter so that we do not run out. It should work in theory as long as you do not overflow one or the other. I don't know what's going to flow into this spot first if I take the string out, but I did have a mess earlier where I needed to actually add this repeater here so the system actually worked. Little goof on my part. You do need redstone pointing into the block. It cannot be just beside it. You gotta be pointing the redstone into it. Just FYI to everybody, because that caused me a little bit of a hassle. Anyway, so with that being said, if any of these slots are empty, like you run out of string or you run out of sticks, but you still have the other, it is going to fill up those slots, which is going to make it very, very difficult to try and fix. With that being said, when you got a setup like this, where you got multiple different items feeding into it, this creates a whole new problem, because then you've got to think of it in terms of signals and items being distributed. Okay, so we've already got the bow. It's going to be crafted go into that barrel, into this hopper, and into this crafter, and it's automatically going to go right there in the middle because it's the only available slot. Now, if I put a system to try and fill the cobblestone and the redstone on this, it actually is going to fill up the center. So automatically filling that up is possible. Don't get me wrong, it is possible. But it's going to be a lot more annoying to try and set that up than you really think it will be, and you're going to get redstone that is going to be overly complex for no real gain. So this simpler version that I have made here should work 100% in order to make dispensers. As you can see, this is a dropper right now. We got the same kind of thing going on with this redstone right here. Once that bow goes into that slot, it'll fill up our 9 slot, which will send 9 redstone strength through this line, causing this line to activate, pushing this piston, or activating this piston, pushing the redstone block down, activating our crafter, and it will craft a dispenser. So this is probably the only use case that I could actually see crafters being something that you're going to want to use in bulk. There are a few other things that you could do, but there is going to be a component of you having to fill it up yourself. Like there's no getting around that. You're gonna have to fill it up yourself. You, like I said, you can automatically do that in some instances, but it is going to be much more difficult to do and really just a waste of time. Even with this system over here, like I demonstrated, we actually made a lot more stacks of stairs faster than this thing did. In fact, this only even made 1 stack of stairs. Now, this also does have another issue that I noticed, and that some of the diorite, particularly this upper corner right here, and I can demonstrate that here in a second, for some reason, this slot gets duplicated. Yeah, I don't know why. That slot's just getting duplicated. It's not getting used or something. We can quickly demonstrate that. If I can pull out the right amount of stuff. Okay, so let's pull that one out. Put this over there. So you can see that this is empty right now. This is only going to do a one-time pass when we activate it. So it's only going to create 1 set of stairs. There should be 4 in this when the system is actually done. And the diorite inside the crafter should be gone. However, that's not the case. That is not what actually happens. We just got to give this a few seconds and wait for it and wait for it. And now the system is done. It has created our stairs. We can check here first. Yep, there we go. There's 4 stairs, exactly what the system is meant to do. And if we check this crafter, oh look, it didn't use that piece of diorite. So we've accidentally duped a piece of diorite. Okay, Mojang, yeah, there is a bug right there with that. It is duplicating that slot right there, and I can demonstrate that again. You can see that it is empty. We have exactly 4 diorite stairs right there. Activate this, and just go ahead and wait. And just a reminder that this, even doing this, is just too slow compared to the player actually doing it. Now, the system I have done is probably a lot slower than some of the others that people have come up with while I've been messing around with this. But again, the entire system is meant to be able to make multiple things at once, so I had to slow it down. I can't have it as fast. Okay, so we got 8 stairs there. You can see 4 and 4. It did go through the entire process, make a whole nother set, and if we check the crafter, oh look, there's another piece of diorite right there. So we're accidentally not using up all the diorite. Yeah. So yeah, they definitely need to check that. Now, let's go over here and get the main show on the road. We got a full stack of 64 slime balls there. we can actually take these, and I'll keep them in my inventory for now, and activate this, and this will go through the process of starting to create dispensers. And as you saw, that piston just fired. There you go. We've got dispensers being automatically made right there for you. There you go. Automatic dispensers, making that process so much easier. So much easier. This, again, like I was saying, is probably the only use case of the crafter actually being good for a very specific purpose. As far as anything else, is probably really bad. But the dispenser with the creation of the bows is such a pain in the butt that this is actually a much better way of going about it. The only issue, again, that I have with this is this crafter right here. You are going to have to manually fill this up with the cobblestone and the redstone. Again, and that's mostly because it's going to be much easier for you. If you try and do this automatically filling this up, I want you to remember that you're going to have to send signals out to drop one piece of cobble, a second signal for cobble, third signal, cobble, fourth signal, cobble, fifth signal, you're going to have to try and skip while the system does its thing, sixth signal, cobblestone, seventh signal, cobblestone, eighth, redstone, ninth, cobblestone, and then repeat. And it's going to have to be timed perfectly with the rest of the setup so that you are not filling up this slot where the bows are being made. Um, Otherwise, I would say the best thing for you to do is actually take this and turn it into a a signal, like have the redstone signal you that, hey, we're out of material in here. You're gonna need to fill me up before I can continue to produce dispensers for you. So, and there you go. We're at 40, and it should get to 64 as long as everything is working correctly. Hopefully, it does seem like everything is working perfectly as intended. And again, we've turned a hopper clock into a hopper counter with the way I've done this. So, really happy that that actually works and that you can see that this process is in fact working as intended. Especially considering I didn't like start this machine before I started recording. Um, I was going through the process mentally thinking, okay, this should do that, this should do this, and just going over the redstone, which is not even that complex. I know it may seem like it's complex, but all it is just bringing the signal from one spot to another and keeping certain signals on while turning off other signals. So it's just about timing and what you're actually doing. Yeah, it sounds very technical, doesn't it? It's not. Trust me, this is simple compared to other redstone contraptions that I've seen from the community at large. Like, you guys make some insane stuff compared to what I can do. But yeah, there you go. A full stack of 64. This is now completely empty. I don't know why that is doing this. And there is the problem right there. This should not still be going. Luckily, this seems to be working. It is keeping these slots perfectly for what they are doing. That's interesting. This made a whole extra 8 bows before it turned off. I mean, it did work. It did do its job, but we created way more bows than we should have. All right, let's just let's test this again because now I'm a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One thing I would like to do now I'm thinking about it is there a way for me to block this off if there is no redstone left? Or if there is no materials. I want to lock this hopper somehow. Because that should have shut off at... It should have shut off after 64, and for some reason we made an extra... We made an extra 8 bows for some reason. That's not far enough. I'm not sure why. Can I do this? Yeah, I can. Let's get rid of that real quick. So if I don't want to do that. I need to invert the signal here. Actually, I do want to do that. We can do this. No, it's going to be there. Yeah, here we are again, people. This is Redstone live on recordings. It's occasionally a service that I provide. We do Redstone live while recording. Okay, so if I do that, we take the signal. Provide it there. So long as the system is running, so long as the system is running, this is going to pull that block back, which is not going to work because we went over, and that means that this would still be extended. That's not going to work. I do have a thought. Can I... Let's think about this. Let's think about this. How would I actually do this? So what I could do... So this works on that principle. So if there's one item there, this, we will get a signal here, but only with one item. And what I could do is have this signal. We'll have to test this here in a minute. Go like that, and the reason for it is because we want to lock this guy. We want to lock it long before it gets a signal. Okay, so point, 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 point. We took the bow out of that, and it still made one. Oh, wow. We took the bow out of this now. Luckily that didn't make anything. Okay. Oh, it made a dropper. That's what happened. Okay. Yeah, we don't need the droppers. Okay, so this is in the wrong spot. Because we need that to activate. The only time we don't want it to activate is when the system is empty. So this is going to lock that. Hang on, let's get rid of this. And that. Lock this. Put that there. So the real question is, okay, so that this happens, that gets locked instantly. That's good. Okay, that's good. That's good. So then we need this guy to come out here. Boink. Okay, and that should lock that so long as we have all the cobble in here, this should get locked. And this is where we can also pull a signal and let us know that, hey, something's wrong. However, right now, because that is locked, that's not pulled back. So we need to borrow a pulse. No, if I do that, it's going to be on regardless, even if that's not there. I don't want this signal going through as long as we got items in there. And that's going to extend it, it's going to lock the hopper. However, when I start the machine, I need this to depower until it's finished. So how do I depower this? I think that's actually simple. We don't need this inverting system. Alright, there we go. So, in theory, if that runs out of any block, it's going to instantly lock all this. Even if that crafter is going to produce bows, this is all going to get locked. It's going to let me know something's wrong. Okay, let's go ahead and test this. I know we're getting long because we're rambling and doing redstone on the fly, which was not the plan. So, yeah, we're just trying to make the system actually work now because there was a few errors in judgment. But then again, this is just kind of me doodling, like coming up with ideas. Hopefully, also getting somebody's attention, which is so weird to think about. But yeah, I'm hoping somebody would see this and be like, hey, that sounds like a great idea. You want to work with me on something? Or can I borrow your idea? Or how do you do this? Or hey, I actually made this redstone contraption that you've created. Even though that's probably not very likely to happen. As you can see, we are making dispensers. I should have paid attention to the slime balls because I don't understand why we ended up making an extra 8 bows. We should not have been we should not have made an extra 8 bows. There's no reason that should have happened. We can just sit back, watch this whole process work as intended, which is absolutely amazing. How are you guys? How you doing? Yeah, I know. Doing Redstone live like this, we could probably fast forward through this later. But the new software I've got for editing videos is kind of finicky on fast forwarding stuff. Like it doesn't like that, which is very annoying. And I do realize we could potentially make this a little bit quicker if I shorten this redstone clock here. However, remember, part of the thing that we were trying to do with the original setup, and this is based on the original setup, is we were trying to make a multi-item crafter setup. So we were needing the signal to be slow enough that it doesn't cause havoc across the entire system. This one, we really didn't need it that short. I probably could have done this a little bit faster. I didn't think about that when I was setting it up. But yeah, we could definitely shorten this by quite a bit and still get the same effect that we are looking for. I'm not really sure how much shorter we could potentially go. We could try there, see what happens here in a minute. and see just how much quicker this actually would be. Okay, so that locks that. Whoa, why did you... Oh, because it had 0 signal and that... Okay. So yeah, that lets us know that, hey, something's wrong. You need to come in here and check this. And in the meantime, we got a few more bows being crafted than we really need. Once again, why is this still going? I have no idea. All right, let's play around here. Being that we are doing this anyway, we can cut that off. Yeah, that's fine. That can stay there, and then we need to do that. So we have a little bit shorter signal. The only problem I have with doing this is potentially the signal is going to like cause it to be constantly on. That is part of the reason why I do really big uh, redstone repeater chains. Okay, first off, we need to fix this issue. Right. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip that one. Take that out, put that there, and the problem here is going to start it again. Let's see what happens. Oh, it broke it. Ew, because that's always... Yeah, that's fine. I know what we can do to fix this issue. No, that ain't gonna fix it. Never mind. You're just gonna have to come in here, manually break that, wait for all this to go, and then do that. Okay, that's happening too quick. And so, yeah, that's getting another bow in there, but it's not happening. Let's turn that off for a second. Oh, that's interesting. So that breaks it completely. So probably what you're going to have to do with this is once you get all your cobble in there, you're going to have to take out your bows and probably do this one at a time. Which kind of defeats the purpose, but apparently the... Apparently the... hopper is too quick for this. Okay, so as I'm thinking about this, what I just did is added a little circuit that is going to slow down this hopper a little bit, just in case something like what just happened happens, and it should, in theory, not work because I'm doing things all incorrect. We can't do that again. So we need that to slow it down so that when it detects a bow in there, it's going to temporarily unlock this. Nope, we can't do that. How are you bud powered? What? So we need that to go into the side of it. So this needs to go here. Okay, there you go. A good example of auto crafting done wrong. Why on earth are you doing that? How are you powering that on now from... What? Oh. Uh... Okay. Okay. We're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to do any of this. None of this is going to actually work. We've just created a whole mess. Luckily, what this does mean is that you'll have to fill up the entire system every so often and fix the fact that it is broken. Basically, I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board on some of this and fix the mistakes that I seem to have accidentally made. Because there's a lot more going on here as I'm thinking about it than what initially you would think is happening. There's a lot of weird things going on, and I'm trying to figure them out. So yeah, I gotta keep messing around with this. I gotta figure out why this is staying active for longer than 64 pulses. It shouldn't be. And I'm not entirely sure why. The only thing I can think of is somehow these slime balls are getting back and forth even though they shouldn't. Like this should activate even if there's one in there. So all of the slime balls should go across. Now, what I could see happening is not all of them make it across, and we get half of them in this hopper and half of them in that hopper. However, considering that we're making more than 64 bows, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. So let me get back to it. I'll get into figuring this all out and trying to come up with a way to actually make this work. We got plenty of time because there's no telling when 1.21 is coming out, and hopefully a few people will see this and take an interest in what I am trying to do here with the redstone, or well, actually, regardless of if that's in a good way or in a bad way, that would be awesome if people got in contact with me over that. That'd be amazing. I would absolutely love to talk to some of the big redstoners here on YouTuber. On YouTuber? Wow. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it from me. If you like what I was doing here with the redstone, please leave a like. And if you absolutely love the concept of using the crafter that I've come up with, think about subscribing. And I will see you guys on the other side of the rift. Bye.